Alright guys, Throw Me Thursday time, and this week it is top 5 horror alternate endings, which, the way Drew from Hayes and Devon Graham described this is that they have to be actually filmed or in a work print, so all these are either on a DVD or they were work print involved. So, this is an interesting top 5 because I didn't ever look at, like there's alternate endings that I like, but I never fully get invested in looking at alternate endings for every movie. So, and I didn't realize either whenever I was making this top 5 that there were more than 5. Just as I looked it up, I'm like, okay, there are more that I liked and I just didn't think about. So it was a little hard to whittle it down to 5, surprisingly, because I thought I would have trouble making 5, but there were a lot that I forgot that were just good alternate endings that I just didn't even take into account. So, without further ado, let's start off with my number 5, which is the alternate ending for A Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984, where there's a couple different alternate endings, but I like the fact with the alternate ending I chose is that Freddy Krueger is dead and Nancy lives her life normally, and that's it. I thought that that's a great way to end it, and I know that we wouldn't have gotten any of the sequels, which I enjoy a lot of the sequels, but that would have been a ballsy move to end it like that and never have a sequel. Or they probably would have and found some way to make a sequel, but of course the studio rejected that because they're like, this has to be a franchise. We've got to make franchise stuff. So I like the balls about a horror movie ending happily. I really like that a lot. So that's why I picked this on my list. Number 4 would be Get Out from 2017, Jordan Peele's Get Out. And this one has a very fascinating alternate ending because this movie is about an African American who goes to his white girlfriend's, meet his white girlfriend's parents, and you realize that there's some weird shit going on, and they're doing brain surgery and switching out brains. And by the end of the movie, the theatrical cut, he kills everybody. He gets out and makes it scot-free because his friend Rod saves him. And in the alternate ending, I thought that it's weird because you could have the alternate ending or the regular ending work fine. I think both endings are great. I do like the fact in the theatrical ending that Chris doesn't have anything bad happen to him. He survives. But in the alternate ending, Chris goes to prison because it shows that a cop comes up and a black man is strangling a white woman. So it's a too real alternate ending. It's too real. It's too hard to deal with because it does shit like that does unfortunately happen. So I really thought that in alternate ending to Get Out is great because it's so unapologetically realistic, this would really happen, unfortunately. But I really like the alternate ending. I think it's really cool. Number 3 would be Child's Play 2, and this one, even though it kind of takes away from the start of Child's Play 3, I like this ending where, in the theatrical cut, Kyle and Andy get away. They are walking out of the factory, but then it cuts back into the factory in the TV version where you see a machine and part of Chucky's face is in the vat of wax, and he it shows this machine where it creates the heads and it opens up and it shows Chucky's head, new head, and it smiles and then the credits roll. And I thought that was a really awesome way to end it, for an alternate ending. It does contradict Child's Play 3, but I thought that if you ended it there, and continued on still, that would be a cool way to just hint that in the future Chucky will return, obviously. But that's just a really creative ending. I really like that one a lot. Number 2 would be The Descent, which is one of the best horror movies. I love this movie. It's fantastic. And the thing about this ending, and it's weird because this is the ending that they got in the UK, because in America the ending was that Sarah makes it out. She makes it out from underground. She makes it into her car. She escapes. It's got the beautiful music, incredible score, and she gets in the car, and then she looks behind her and she screams because it's a dead Juno. Like, she's imagining like Juno's there with her, and just screams, and the movie ends. And I think that's incredible. But the alternate ending I like a lot too, or the UK ending, because in that ending, Sarah makes it out like she does in the other version, and she makes it into her car, and then she realizes that she is just hallucinating and she is still in the cave, and then all the creatures are surrounding her and it ends. And that's a really dire way to end it, even though the movie is already incredibly dire. I prefer the theatrical ending because I like the fact of this character like having PTSD of her like her dead friends. I think that makes it even more powerful. Even though this alternate ending I think is good, I like it. Where like she's hallucinating, she's just down there still, and like she's gonna get killed. I thought that was good, even though it wouldn't have really brought a sequel. But I did like both of these endings. I think the alternate ending is one that is pretty worthy, like the original ending. Number one is an alternate ending that I think is very simple, but I just like it on a character moment basis. It's the Halloween 2 TV cut, where like in the theatrical cut, it's like Laurie Strode, and she's in the hospital. Like, I mean, she gets out of the hospital and gets in the vehicle, and like she's in the back and just sitting in the ambulance, just looking out, and like the music from Mr. Sandman plays, and it's a great ending, and it shows Michael Myers burning. That's a great ending theatrically. But the TV version, I really like the fact that she's in there like the theatrical, staring out into nothing, and then somebody appears right behind her, and she like gasps, and then it's just Jimmy, which makes sense because Jimmy is alive at the end of the theatrical version, but they don't have him in it at the very end. But she freaks out. She sees this Jimmy, and she grabs his hand and just says, "We made it." We made it, and like she starts crying, and I just thought that was a great moment for Laurie Strode that is negated to just an alternate like ending like on TV. I wish that would have been the theatrical cut, even though the theatrical cut is really fantastic with her just like sitting there in the back of the ambulance staring out while Michael Myers is burning. Like, that's great as well, but I like this moment of her character gaining a little bit of happiness like after the night everybody, all of her friends are killed, everybody's gone. I like that she got some sort of happiness in that happy ending, or in that alternate ending. But yeah, that to me is why it's my number one. I just really liked it for a lot of moments, and it's also a version I grew up with, the TV version of Halloween 2, so had to put it at number one. But this was again really hard. I really liked picking these alternate endings. I felt like I gave a lot, even though they're franchise ones. I feel like I gave a lot of reasonings why. So that is it. Tell me down below what you got, how you guys would do your top 5 alternate endings, and if you make a video, put hashtag Throw Me Thursdays in the title, and Drew from Hayes and Devon Graham will put it in his playlist. And that is it on my video, and thank you guys so much for watching.
We made it!